Hello everyone. So we are back with another book review, and this time I have this book, Family Matters by Rohinton Mistry. So if I talk about the number of pages that this book has is around 500, and this is my second book by Rohinton Mistry and third literary piece by him. Third because when I got introduced to Rohinton Mistry was in my college, where I read a short story by him called Swimming Lessons. Yes, it was a short story. So that's when I got to know about this writer and his literary style, which I liked a lot. And then I came across this another novel of his that was A Fine Balance, and I read it back in 2020, and it blew my mind, and I liked it a lot. There were many people who disliked that novel in my college, but I somehow liked it a lot, maybe because of the cathartic effect it left with me, the poignant style of writing, which is the trademark of Mistry. So, similarly, you might find this book also pretty sadistic. It doesn't have a very positive tone, but still, at the same time, I would say that compared to A Fine Balance, this is a very uh, balanced book if we are talking about the emotional growth of a novel. So this is not that dramatic like the Fine Balance, but let's just focus on this book because I'm going to review this book. Otherwise, I would get digressed. So this novel, Family Matters, as the name's title suggests, deals with the family matters of three generations, but the main protagonist or character is of Nariman Vakil. Nariman Vakil is the main character around whom the whole story revolves. Story starts with Nariman Vakil's 79th birthday celebration, and we got to know that Nariman Vakil is a Parsi, as it happens with Rohinton Mistry's usual literary pieces, because he himself belongs to Parsi community. Hence, he in a way writes about Parsi legacy only. So in all his work, you can see this a touch of Parsi community, Zoroastrianism, their culture, their beliefs, and all these things, and their community's problem also, which I will explore later in the week. We got to know that Nariman Vakil is obviously an old man, and he lives with his two stepchildren. First is Kumi and second is Jal. Both of them are Yasmin's children, who is Nariman Vakil's late wife. And when he got married to Yasmin, she was a widower, as her previous husband has passed away. And Kumi and Jal were the children from that marriage. And Nariman Vakil has his real daughter with Yasmin, who is Ruxana. So, in this novel, we see some turns of events which brings Ruxana and her family into focus. 400 to 300 pages of chunk deals with Ruxana and her family only. Nariman Vakil, like usual old people, he likes having stroll in his vicinity, in his neighborhood, because of loneliness, solitude, all these situations which comes forth when you get old and start living a retired life. So in this way, this book, the most important aspect of this book is how it dealt with the problems of old people, how they suffer in so many situations, how they feel, and the physical pain with which they had to deal with. Iman Vakil likes to walk, and on one such walk, he accidentally broke his ankle, which results in getting his leg plastered fully, and he comes to a bedridden state, which is obviously not very pleasant for old people because already they feel solitude, loneliness, and this bedridden state in a way drags him into a very depressing, sad situation, and resultantly, Kumi Angel decides to transfer Nariman Vakil to Ruxana's place. So there are the whole story has a very narrow or limited, I would say, space. There are no like shifts of countries or anything. The whole story is situated in 1990s Mumbai or Bombay, you may call it. There are some political situations hints also, but not obviously. There's no explicit commentary, but there are hints like Babri Masjid's attack and Shiv Sena's dominance in Bombay and its landscape and all these things. Basically, this book was written in 2002 or 4. I'm forgetting the exact year, but I think it was written in early 2000s. So that is why the political scenario of that time is also reflected in this novel, and how it also affects its character's life. Now, coming back to Nariman Vakil's life. So, as I said, he had to shift to Ruxana's place, and there are two places. First house of Nariman Vakil, where he used to live with earlier with his father and mother, and then after marriage with Yasmin and Kumi and Jal, uh, and in his old age only with Kumi and Jal, was Chatyu Felicity, if I'm pronouncing it right. And the other place, which Nariman Vakil gifted a flat, which Nariman Vakil gifted to Ruxana and her husband Gezat on their marriage, is called Pleasant Villa. So Nariman Vakil shifts to Ruxana's place, but actually it was a very short place. It has only one room and one hall, so it in a way reflects Mumbai's space crunch also. How people had to live in chairs and box-like rooms, how family had to adjust. In fact, when Vakil arrives at Ruxana's place, because they don't have any big space or spare room, their children, Jahangir and Murad, had to take turns to sleep in the balcony, where they made some makeshift arrangement through a tent. So, such situations are also reflected in this novel in a very subtle way, but it leaves a very great impact, just to show how people live in Mumbai and how a family has to adjust in the situations of such crisis. Already, Ruxana and Yazad's family is dealing with economic crunch, and now a new member has arrived in their family, that too with his medical bills and other physical needs, where Rux had to do all the chores and uh, then take care of her ill father. And I like this fact that Mystery showed it in such a detail how critical the care of old people is. I mean, because Nariman Vakil is bedridden, he can't go to washroom, and how in earlier in his old house, Kumi used to feel disgusted while cleaning him, while taking him to the toilet or for latrine, and how even Yazad feels disgusted with this. And also with this situation, Mystery also reveals a hint of untouchability, also the idea of untouchability. So in a way, actually, stereotypically, we think Parsi community to be a very well educated liberal community, but in reality there's a very rigid orthodoxy in that community also. In the very religion of Zoroastrianism, uh, there are very limiting beliefs and rules, and how it affects individual lives. This is shown in this novel very beautifully. Further burden of one more person in the family puts Yazad in a very difficult state, because he is only breadwinner of his family. He works at a shop at a sports emporium, and he has been working there for last 15 years, but actually he is also kind of bored with the job, and he is not getting promotion and all these things, which is making him frustrated. So basically, in this whole novel, we see some characters, but we see only a few characters who are getting developed with the narrative, and Yazad is one of them. Actually, he is the primary character who is shown developing or changing or transforming with the narrative. Otherwise, all the other characters kind of maintains their initial nature to the very end. Like Roxana, she is shown as a very kind-hearted lady, a very caring lady, and till the very end, she maintains her character. But Yazad's character is the one who is drastically changed by the end of it. But obviously, I won't reveal it because it it will be a spoiler. In the terms of events, Yazad plans some very fishy things, which puts his employment also at risk, and eventually he gets unemployed. But somehow things get better from the outside, from economic perspective. But does it get back better for individuals, for their mental well-being, for their emotional well-being? Does the family succeeds in maintaining the harmony or unity in their home? Is the question which is left to be explored by you only when you read this novel. And this is the main theme actually, how these situations, these economic scenarios, these political scenarios, these expectations of society in a way affects individual and ultimately the family structure, and how it, if not shatters, still gets weakened uh, with the upheaval of life. This is it. The main themes in this novel are, first of all, Parsi culture, their religious beliefs and lifestyle. Apart from this, the political impact on political and societal expectations, impact on individual life. Thirdly, the life of a middle class person, the life of a family to city. So all these, like, economic background. So these are the things. This was a very wonderful novel. You must read it, and I liked it, but it didn't make me cry so much as I expected. So I will give it 4 stars. Thank you for watching this review. I will meet with another recommendation and must read.